welcome to all the mini enthusiasts, classic car enthusiasts. Just want to do another quick update. I've done a few other things on the car now. What I have done is in my last video I was mentioning about not cutting panels off before you have the panels to put on, because obviously you should measure them and scribe them so you know where you are. What I've done in this case is I've spent a little bit of time looking on mini spares, and I've decided that I'm going to put two complete new inner wings, but complete rather than repair panels. It is a lot of work, but the returned edges, which I'll show you, I'll pick the camera up and show you, the returned edges are, I'm pretty sure, are pretty rusty underneath, and we'll find that out when we take them off. Because I've done so much work to the back and everything else, and the inner and outer sills are getting done, the flitch panels, the A posts, I might as well go the whole hog and do it right. But the reason I'm going to show you now that I've actually taken the front of the car off after saying don't cut them. The reason I've done that is there's two of us sometimes. At the moment the guy that helps me out is not here, he's on time off. But when he comes back, there's normally two of us working, so we can't always work in the same area. And now I've taken the front off, the front fascia of the car, the lower wings in the front. I need to actually take that apart, and it's a lot easier to take it apart off the car. And obviously, consequently, getting to the bulkhead as well, the firewall and the inner wings. So a couple of revelations today. I've picked away more metal. I've taken the other wing off, obviously, to get the front off, and just slowly picked at it. As I said, somebody, and I'd shown you in my previous videos, somebody had just welded the edges and then just filled it with silicone, and then it's absolute sod to get off. Anyway, I've gingerly gone a little bit at a time and then opened it a little bit more and opened it, and so on and so forth. So some of the returned edges will need repairing, but generally I can save the two, I'm fairly sure I can save the two A panels, the two wings and the front. So basically what I'll do is put two new complete inner wings in with the flitch panel and the A post, and the inner and outers of the sills, and then we end up with pretty much a new body shell. So that's the plan. A couple of quick things. I'll pick up the camera and I'll show you what we're up to, and a couple of quick little things that I've come across. Just wanted to say hi to Matt Green. I'm watching your videos, really good. And was it the Bernie 1275 GT from the Gentleman's Motor Racing team? Really good, really enjoy the videos, and I see that they subscribe to me as well, so which is good. Yeah, if you want to pass any comments backwards and forwards, I'm on davejaguar66@gmail.com. If we can help each other out or get some advice or tips, it's always handy. Before I pick up the camera, I just wanted to say that what I'm doing is not necessarily the right way, or either Matt or Gentleman's Motor Racing, but it is one way to do it. I think as long as you end up with structurally the right thing, it really makes no odds how you do it. You can do it an easy way and a hard way, of course, but you know, the bottom line is, as long as you achieve the end result, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I'll pick up the camera and I'll show you what we're up to. So, just a quick little tip here. You can see I've got the subframe off, and what I've done is I've put these tie wraps on here onto the radius arms, because what will happen is especially with these high-low suspension, if you let the radius arm drop down, it will come out of the ball socket in the front there. Maybe I can see it from underneath, maybe you can't, but it'll drop out of there, and you don't want that because it'll damage the cup. So it's a good way of being able to pick it all up in one shot. So, as you can see, the front is off the car, and there it is. That particular panel is about 200 quid with a VAT, and fortunately it's salvageable. The inner wings are an absolute piece of shit, but there's the other wing I took off, and as you can see, it's in fairly good condition. There's the other one. It's a bit dusty now because obviously I tried to sandblast it a bit to see how good it was, and that's what we ended up with, the front of the car. So tomorrow I'll take this other door off, this door off here and the A panel. But the usual problem with Mini, this is very common, that these hinge bolts are seized. So what I will do is, they're knackered anyway, so what I'll do is I'll use the plasma cutter and I'll just cut them off, top and bottom, and then I can take the A-frame off. But you can see even that A-pillar there is quite rusted through. So I'm just going to buy the whole panel, the flitch panel, everything, and do it in a wanna. You can see how bad it is up there. I mean, some of these even just shoved the panel over the top. None of it's welded. It's just stuck. The repairs are absolutely pathetic. What is surprising me though about this is that if you look under here, I've taken the support panel for the front scuttle, and I put maybe I can put the camera on again if I can find it. I'm terrible with sorry, I mean the light. I'm terrible for finding this light with the car. Where is it now? Oh, it's annoying. Anyway, I'll show you once the light's better. But under here, it looks like it's a brand new scuttle panel, because even the transit primer is still on it. So I think that's been repaired. It must have been repaired, because this would not be in this condition while that is still good underneath. So somebody's obviously done this scuttle and then left this, and then they've put basically this, which is like a closing panel. I'll put it upright. You can see they've even got the sticker left in it, and then they've popped that in there. Not very well. I think it was welded there, and I think there, that was it. Pretty pathetic. Oh, and a little bit on top, I think. Pretty pathetic, really. So they've put all that in, and it was already corroded at the back, or didn't treat it even. But what surprises me is the welds that are on the edge of the window, which are extremely difficult to get, and you have to get them very, very good, because otherwise the rubber's going to have a problem sealing. Seems like it's from factory, so maybe 2 or 3 people have had this car, I don't know. Anyway, so that's where we're at. So tomorrow what I'll do is I'll do an update tomorrow. I'll bring up the rotisserie that I have for this car. The easiest way to do a rotisserie for this car is to make a solid tube right the way through, which basically goes through the centre there. You can see it from the front. All the Minis have this, whether they're centre or not. You just take that little black plate out in the centre, so only 4 screws, and you can put a steel rod or a steel pole right the way through. That's the easiest way to make it. The only problem is the newer Minis, the Mark 1s and Mark 2s, they had a hole right there in the centre, and they had like a patch on it. It was bolted on, because in the factory they actually used to put a bar through them the way we're doing it now to repair them, and they used to roll them on like pipe racks to do all the undersealing and bits and pieces. Only the later models don't have a hole, so if you don't want to go cutting that out, you have to make a jig like I have, or if you do cut it out, at least use a hole cutter, a big hole cutter, so the pipe goes through and it's easy to make an extended flange and finish it, because it'll look awful. Even though you won't see it because the seat back's in it, and obviously in the back you've got a bit of carpet, it will be there. Anyway, so I'll show you mine tomorrow. I'll show you the way I've done it. If you're interested in having a look and you want to have a look now, if you go to Mini Cooper Restoration Part 1 on Dave Jaguar 66, you'll see the other Mini Cooper that I've got in my lower garage, and you can see how we made it. I think it's called Mini Cooper Restoration Jig, or Mini Cooper Rollover Jig. I can't remember what it's called exactly now, and you'll see how it works. It basically just goes onto these suspension bolt holes here, and then into the car, an A-frame across the companion boxes at the back, and another one in the boot. But I'll put it on tomorrow and I'll let you guys have a look and you can tell me what you think. Anyway, best of luck to the other 2 guys. I know it's getting hard now, the winter's coming. So I think it's time to put on my paraffin heater, which is a great bit of kit. I love this thing, and I absolutely adore the smell of it. My wife complains when it's going, but I love it. But it's